brought to you by Grow Diesel Ventures Private Limited. At Grow Diesel, our mission is to make a positive impact on the society and the Mother Earth by tackling two big challenges: waste elimination and biofuel generation. Grow Diesel has two patented technologies to generate crude biogas and refined biogas. Through this live podcast, we want to promote the bioenergy sector with the help of people from diverse experience areas. Today, we have three esteemed panelists with us. Our first guest speaker is Mr. Manoj Jain. He has diverse experience in renewable energy since 1986. He is shaping the landscape of this dynamic industry. In his professional journey, he has dedicated himself in an impactful working area, from serving as a visiting faculty and technical consultant in renewable energy, skill development, academic institution, and social organization, to setting up Cytec Renewables Private Limited and serving as CEO there. I welcome you on the panel, sir. Next dynamic speaker is Mr. Jitendra Narayan, the Chief Executive Officer at KEC Agritech. He is a former business coach and specialist for energy and agriculture field. With the decades of leadership experience in the energy sector, his mission is to empower the business to grow sustainably. With the mission, I welcome you, sir. Our third prestigious speaker is Mr. Shubham Verma, serving as Assistant Manager at the Raj Process Equipment and System Private Limited. He is a mechanical engineer by profession with experience in project management, installation, commissioning, and quality management. Throughout his career, he worked in a field which required a lot of leadership and problem solving attitude. Your leadership quality, I welcome you on the panel, sir. To all the audience, kindly post your question in the question and answer box. We will discuss and consider in the end of the session. Now, it's time to welcome the moderator of the session, which none of any other, Mr. Shrey Saxena. Mr. Shrey Saxena is a second-gen entrepreneur at Grow Diesel Ventures. He has been awarded the Diana Award by the British royal family for the impact created through the projects. He is the host of the today's session. I hand over the stage to you, Shrey, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Saloni. And I welcome all the speakers and panelists for this wonderful session. So, just to give you a little context of why we are doing this at the first place. So, Candid Biofuel Talks CBG series was started, I'm sorry, was started as an initiative so that we can propagate the right knowledge of CBG industry to the people who are who want to get into this directly from the experts who are working. With this, I formally welcome and open this session. So the topic of today's session is selling CBG. Now, I know that being in the industry, this is one of the questions that that has been asked by a lot of people, and there is no right answer to this question. So to solve that mystery of how to sell CBG, we are organizing today's session. So starting with the first speaker, I would like to ask Mr. Shubham Verma. So Shubham, sir, what is your experience? Like, how do one decides how to dispense their CBG? Over to you.
Uh, Being a EPC company, when we get the inquiries from our client that we are going to set up a new CBG plant or they have an existing plant, at that point, the very first thing which as a businessman, they come to an idea that how will be how to sell my product, which is the biogas. And at this stage, we have two major options available with us. The first option is selling the gas through oil and gas companies. These oil and gas companies float tenders on monthly basis. All the like GAIL, HPCL, IOCL, BPCL. These companies float the tender. Our client fill in the tender and they get a letter of intent in the return. So the oil and marketing companies assure them with the letter of intent that they will be procuring their CBG once they start producing. Second option, which is the best option right now, again, is the CGD grid pipeline. The person who is producing the CBG can directly inject the gas into the pipeline, which goes to the station, and from that station it is delivered to the different like the selling point to the commercial household appliances with the help of pipeline. So these are the two major point where the CBG can be sold out. And the third and the last is like a person who's having his own retail outlet. He can sell the gas on its own retail outlet. So these are the three modes which we can like sell the CBG right now.
Okay, so Shubham sir, you very beautifully summed it up. And I think I pretty much agree with most of the things that you said. Now, coming to Jitendra sir, sir, what is your view on when we talk about selling the gas to oil and gas companies through cascades? Like how easy or difficult it is? Would you like to throw some light?
Yeah, hi, good evening. As Shubham has already mentioned, few of the traditional thing which is available as far as anybody who's coming into the business. But in addition to it, what we can have is we can also plan a scenario where we can sell it to the industry as well. So that can be another option for any entrepreneur who is coming into the business. The only thing is we have to see the kind of demand is there in the market, because selling it through cascade is a proven model where majority of the companies are taking the gas from the plants, and they are dispensing it through their own oil pumps. So that is one model which is already available, but the only thing is we have to see how far our plant is, so that the transportation cost and the kind of pressure which is maintained in the cascades has to be in line with the requirement, so that at the end of the day, your gas, whatever you are dispensing through your plant, it should reach to the same to the your filling station. So it has to manage. So uniformity is one thing which we can be maintained, and the industrial point which I have added to Subhash this thing. So there we can generate revenues. So on the revenue side, if you look at it, so that can give you major revenue when you plan something in the industry. So if you find that there is any industry which is nearby, so you can plan in that way. So cascades can be prepared in a small chunk as well. So it's not like 1 ton of a cascades can be given to a any industrial, but you can have 500 kg also. You can have 200 kg kind of cascades model available. So that can be another mode of dispensing your gas to the industrial, where you can manage the more revenue, so that from the available thing you can have certainly the additional revenue by all these methods. So that can be
Absolutely.
additional.
And
Yeah.
I think you made a beautiful point that there are industries who have bulk fuel consumption, and the fuel can be sold directly to them, so that those companies can also cut down on their fuel cost. Maybe we can sell them at a little discounted rate, which will motivate them to buy CBG. So that's a very fair point that you made, sir. Coming to Manoj sir. Manoj sir, what do you think? What is the most profitable model for selling the compressed biogas, in your opinion?
Okay. Hello, good evening, everyone. And my first view on that one, how to sell it. Basically, I've seen that we are using at present that we are using the cascade to carry the gas, means CBG, up to there's some already filling stations like petrol pump, etc. All this. Instead of that, if we go through the direct dispensing, I think that there are some sites, good sites here, just like I've seen in my city also and in some other cities. If we have some good location of the generation of this CBG, and if we bring that CBG through pipeline up to the main road where most of the vehicle users comes, basically which are CNG based or means CBG based. So that can you can go directly through the in the compressed way. We have to keep it in a storage way and directly dispense, just like a petrol pump. Just like they put the say petrol underground tank. In the same way, we have to bring that CBG through the pipeline, underground pipeline it may be, and on the main road or on the highway or like that one, as per the location suits. And on the backside or means at some distance, we have to put our own plant if we are having it there and bring it up to the petrol pump, means distribution station, dispensing station, and directly fill to the transport sector. Because the major user beyond this industries or domestic or any other major user of the CBC nowadays is the this one transport sector. And if we provide that facility within the city or outside the city on the outskirts of the city, so that I think it will means save your money, which is major investment in the preparation of this all these bottling plant and like that one. So that will save that one side, and that is very much feasible, I think so. So in that way, we can think about this means direct dispensing stations at the suitable locations. And so while anyone is deciding towards this means installation or setup of this biogas plant, so one more thing I would like to say, because the major raw material of any CBG plant is the cow dung, municipal waste, and the agro waste. Even nowadays, some plants are using the napier grass. So there are a number of things are there. So if we when we are planning for it, so it will be better to find out a suitable location where we can find out the main road or highway or like that one. And a dispensing station, we have to keep it there, and means land which is just near, very close means to this dispensing station. We have to install the this CBG plant at that location. So I think that
in
will
your
be a
opinion,
feasible solution.
in your opinion, that direct dispensing to the clients is, in your opinion, the best option. Shubham sir, do you agree with the same what Manoj sir said, or do you have some different opinion on this?
I totally agree with Mr. Manoj and also with the Jitendra sir that as per the saying from Mr. Jain that the direct sale of gas to the automobile sector is very much profitable, because I will tell you the reason. See, priorly we only had the commercial vehicle, four-wheelers for the CBG. Now we have a two-wheeler. Now we have a transport vehicles on CBG. We have city buses on CBG. We have some new vehicles which are hybridly developed. Those petrol plus CNG, those vehicles are based on this thing. Like the sales is very high, and the main reason for that thing is that if we go down on that particular automobile sector, the government is already planning to increase the rates of the CBG, which is going to be sold at the outlets. So in perception to the sales of CBD on outlet, if you see, the oil and gas companies give the rates on base of MMBTU, per million MMBTU. So right now the current rate of the market is 1290 rupees per million of MMBTU. It is not directly considered with the help of percentage of methane. It is based on the calorific value of the methane. So the more it is used for the commercial grade or the transport grade vehicles, city buses vehicles, so less pollution will be inside the city. And partly similarly with the Jitendra sir, if we use it for the industrial purpose, so simultaneously pollution will be less in that area. Rather, they will save the fuel cost, and it will be a circular kind of a thing for a win-win situation.
Shubham
for
sir, you mentioned that the oil companies buy the CBG in MMBTU as per the energy value of that particular gas.
Correct.
In my limited experience, I think that is the case when we are talking about the grid injection. But when we are talking about selling it through cascades, it is sold in kgs. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sir, even if you sell it in the form of cascades, the rate which is considered is same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does that happen? Jitendra sir, would you like to shed some light there on this particular point?
Yeah, Shubham is telling you the kind of cost for the entrepreneur which you will receive from OMCs. So that will be calculated in MMBT only. Either you dispense it through cascades or probably the injection, because at the end of the day it is using for the retail customers or probably to any customer. So the calculation goes with MMBT only, but for easy understanding, it goes in the kgs. So everything will remain same. And that is what there are few projects which they are getting higher rates which have been already allotted to them. For example, for a buyer they get a slab of say 74 rupees, but if their methane content and proportionately to the calorific value, so they are getting 77, 78 rupees also in some cases. So
This is
when
per
they
kg
take
or per
this,
SCM you're talking about?
yeah, so the percentage of purity is says around 98% or maybe 99%. So proportionately, the calorific value in totality increase in MMBTU. So there is a formula to it. So at the end of the day, the prices for offtake will increase. So that's always a good idea to take care of this MMBTU things in picture. So when new entrepreneur comes, for making him understand, generally we talk about kgs only, so that the calculation will be fit to his mind. But when you goes back to the papers and just understand how to increase the efficiency, then this formula will definitely works out. So I think
Got it.
points will be well taken in that.
Understood.
Yeah.
Manoj sir, what do you
Yes.
think should be the maximum distance to transport the cascade or dispense the gas? What should be the maximum distance in your experience?
I think if you see it logically, I think within where the CBG plant is there, I think means 10 to 20 kilometer maximum, because it will further increase the transportation cost to carry the cascade. So there are a number of CNG stations now have been established in the city or where the users are. So maximum benefit will be only to the enterprise CBG entrepreneur will be only within 15 to 20 kilometers. Or maximum nowadays I've seen in my own city, means in Bhiwani, in Haryana, around in all directions on the periphery. A number of these CNG stations have been established. And another benefit, what we can see, if there is a nearby CBG stations, I've seen in Rohtak, they have established CBG plant in Rohtak by one company of the Pune, and they are planning on the highway to carry it through the pipeline. So if it is there is a possibility that if the CBG station is close to the any CNG station, so we can carry it through the pipeline. We have to go or we have to approach for the mix of the means of all this CBG, means direct pipeline, direct dispensing, and also through the cascade, the remaining gas which is not visible through the pipeline. So we can think of that one also. So I think we have not to fix on the one mode. We have to go with the multi-mode as per the suitability and feasibility of the location of our CNG station and our CBG plant.
Understood. Point taken, sir. Shubham sir, in your experience, let's say if a CBG plant wants to dispense their gas through grid injection only, and let's say what can be the maximum distance for gas company to lay the pipeline to make so that it is financially viable for all the stakeholders. So what is the maximum distance till which the pipeline can be installed?
Like I'll just go some little bit technical in that perception. So if we increase the pipeline length, so accordingly the diameter of pipeline will increase. The safety measure will get compromised in that sense. So it is preferable to go like around as per now the scenario which I see in the market. The stations are in the range of 25 to 50 kilometers. The main station where the injection has to be done. And apart from that, the pressure which is maintained as per their requirement, to maintain that pressure is also then again a challenge if we increase the distance of the station. So it is preferred that we should have multiple stations rather than going for a single station at a long distance.
I completely got your point, sir, there. But again, my question was, let's say that we have put in a CBG plant at X location, and we need to sell it through gas grid. And for example, the gas grid is the gas company's main gas connecting station is 10 kilometers away. So will the gas company invest in putting that additional 10 kilometers of pipeline if we are selling CBG to them?
Yes, they will invest.
Okay, and if this distance is, let's say, 20 kilometers? Even then,
up to like 50 kilometers, it is okay as per my knowledge.
50, 50.
Yeah, 50 kilometers as per like in the market situation. 25 to 50 kilometers is the range as per my study.
Okay.
In
Okay.
future, I don't know if there is some technology they extend it, then it is a secondary part. But up till now, 25 to 50 is, I guess, even I need to cross check with Mr. Jitendra sir and Manoj sir, because even I am not sure with that particular question.
Jitendra sir, would you like to take this?
Yeah, for the injecting in the existing pipeline, so we have to see that this is a mother station or a daughter station which pipe is coming. So for CBG intake, generally CGD companies are not much promoting it, but after this policy, which is a CBG and CNG blending has been allowed for 5%, which is recently has come up in the month of February 2024. So by that, government is giving some subsidies to CGDs for laying down the pipelines for the CBG plants. So in that cases, they would not encourage more than 5-10 kilometers. The ideal would be for a CBG plant owner would be 1 or 2 kilometers, because the kind of cost which incurs in the pipeline is huge. So either CGD company will negotiate with the CBG entrepreneur, so that some part he will bear, some part that they will bear, and some part can be taken from your government as a subsidy. So that is again, I mean, there are more cases are going to come. Recently, there are only few plants there which are injecting directly to the existing pipelines. So it is difficult to say that what equation will come around, but ideally, lesser the length and I mean the distance, and the more the economical viability will come. So that we have to see. I mean, because now everybody wants to have a injection in the pipeline because of the mismanagement of transport under the cascade methods. So let's see. We are hoping that if that arrangement which government has think of can work out, so then 5 kilometer, 10 kilometer also can be possible. But now in the beginning, I guess smaller the length of the pipes can bring more viability to the project. Otherwise, it is a additional capex to the the project, which is again a problem, because right now we are only fighting with the economics with the biofuel. So I mean, this scenario has to come actually, and it is much needed demand.
I completely agree with you, sir. Because in one of the clients we saw that though they were willing to invest to put up the additional capex for the gas pipeline, they were asking for a minimum output guarantee from the project developer. In this case, the one I'm talking about was they were asking for a minimum of 5 tons for them to consider to even put the gas pipeline. Second thing that which I got to know, which was very interesting for me to learn, I will not name the gas grid company here, but this particular company has two kinds of pipelines. One, in one pipeline, the gas is flowing for their automobile application, and the other pipeline is for industrial and residential application. Now, they were taking CBG only in the industrial and residential cooking application gas pipeline. This is in one of the districts, what we witnessed. Is it the case which is happening all over the country? Manoj sir, do you have any thoughts on this?
Okay, and that is a good. I come to know that you have mentioned that the company have laid down this on pipeline for cooking purpose. That is also a good one, because in major cities or metropolitan cities, most of the companies already not CNG but other normal PNG etc. They are sending the or means they're laying down this line in flats and societies like that one. So that is also a good concept. If some company is if it is found feasible for that company that it can provide this CBG for cooking purpose also, and for industrial purpose by laying down. Initially, definitely the expenses will be on the higher side to digging out all that one and laying down all that. But for a longer term, for a future vision, that may be more profitable in that. Yes, initial investment will be on the higher side. So we have to find out what type of feasibility is there. Sometimes it may happen that if we are passing this line for CNG station, then we have to cross the long fields also, farmer field or like that one underground pipeline. So can also become some constants in that case, in sending or transmitting this through the underground pipeline there. So in that case, there may be some problem also. So we have to keep, as Jitendra ji has told, that we have to keep it minimum, because when it is not always available that you can pass this line through the fields of the some farmers. They will not allow sometimes. If you are carrying this pipeline, because it is not possible to carry the along with the roadside, but you have to cross the fields also. I've seen it practically in my area sometimes. So number one, that we have to find out that it should be the only the within the minimum distance to keep it. And secondly, if you find out the selling of the CBG through a system, means just like means in some metropolitan cities like Gurgaon or like that one, where people use through the pipeline gas. So that gas can be connected through the already existing pipeline. It may be also inside that area, and the company or the CBG developer may contact to the existing company that it will provide this CBG through their existing pipeline also. So cooking for cooking purpose, it will be a good idea that we can connect it with the CBG developer.
Okay, understood, sir. Shubham sir, what do you think are some major policies rolled out by government to support the sale of CBG? If you can throw some light on that.
Actually, sir, government is trying its best to like encourage entrepreneurs to put the CBG plant based out of the feed, like waste, organic waste. And government is completely involved in getting not only for the sales of CBG, but also to install the plant. Government is giving a huge amount of loan, huge amount of subsidies just to encourage to set up CBG plant. And apart from that, if you see for the encouragement of sales, so government has made like all the major oil and gas companies involved in this particular sector, so that they can ensure that the entrepreneur who is setting up the plant can sell the gas on like easily. So that is the reason they have put up the like prices are fixed as per the norms set up by MNRE, and also the like transportation distance for cascade is for some part they pay it, price is included in the sales price, but if the distance extends, then they give the additional transportation cost. So all these factors contributes and acknowledge that the government is trying its best to promote the sales of CBG.
Understood, sir. And I think this year they even rolled out the voluntary blending plan, which will be compulsory from next year onwards. So I believe that that will be a huge boost. And we saw that in the case of ethanol, that once government made it mandatory to blend, the industry, it took off very well.
Correct, sir.
Very interesting, sir.
In the same fashion, if you see, initial phase when ethanol was produced, there was no such kind of huge craze for the ethanol. Even the sugar industry, who's having molasses easily, they were just throwing out the molasses or they were just selling it out. Now, when the government started the E20 mission, ethanol blending at 20%, the target time is like approximately 2030, 40. That is, I'm not remembering the exact year, but we at this stage we have already accomplished E15. 15% blending we have already achieved. So to achieve E20, it will be very much easy. Similarly for CBG also, like if government promotes in the same way, brings out new policies, then even CBG will be like in the booming. I've even heard from some big giants like EIL and NTPC, those people, that they are planning to blend hydrogen with CBG. So
yes,
till that extent they are working. So I see that government is working it hard to promote CBG sales.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have no doubt there. A lot of initiatives are there by government to boost the CBG sector.
Correct.
Jitendra sir, my next question is to you. What do you think are some opportunities for entrepreneurs, specifically if we talk about the gas dispensing side of the industry?
Outside the industry means, there are traditional ways which we have already talked about. But other than that, the unique methods which are going to come is, first of all, the adaptability to the CBG. Generally, people have a perception that this CBG is not as equivalent to your CNG, or probably they compare it with, the liquefied petroleum gas as well. So people has to realize it some way, initially with the economics, and then later with the usability. When you talk about the usability, you have to understand the kind of, explosions and other things which has already happened in LPG, which are not going to happen in the CBG, since the density and other things are very lighter in that, and the explosions are very less happen in CNG. You did not have heard from last 25 years the more than 10-15 cases, which is a very, top-notch quality you can talk about, as far as we can, use in any kind of industry or probably the households. So adaptability is one point where, the awareness is going. And I feel about the industry that government is trying to push it up. And now from, 2018, which this policy has rolled out, and, because of the COVID, it hampered. And then, later 2022, it has taken a pace. So from there to now, I have seen a lot of changes. Initially, I would say, CGD companies are not accepting all across the proposal, but now they are very, glad, and, they are accepting things, and things are, totally on a different phase now. So I believe for dispensing the gas or selling a gas is not a challenge in the market. The challenges which we have already talked about, the blending or the distance, or probably the, the raw material. We have not talked about the raw material, which is a very important and crucial part in the whole business. So that is one thing. And apart from that, I think that, the banking and other policies, if get, little bit, slow down from here, in terms of the terms and conditions they put in. So larger, people will come, the numbers will increase in terms of plants, so that, by having the synergies together, the flexibility in the banking can create number of more entrepreneurs. And once the number of more entrepreneurs will come, industry will boom. Because in the smaller space, as we have already talked about, that some of the CGD companies, as you were talking about, they have asked for the minimum kind of a guarantee for dispensing the unit. So they are not wrong, actually. If you look at it from their perspective, if they are laying down any pipeline, so they need to know, what is I'm getting on the table. So that, that makes business, right? So for making a business, they need to have these minimum kind of a guarantee. But yes, if government is with them, they are providing some kind of viability gap fund or something, so that these things can be eased out, because they will be knowing that from one pipeline, I am getting connected different entrepreneurs. Say in 20 kilometers, there are 3 entrepreneurs. So laying down pipeline for 3 plant is easier than laying down for a single plant. So that kind of, things which will become easier for CGD to take decisions. Because anyhow, this blending or this, injection will definitely boost this whole business together. So there is a major role of it. So it has to be a win-win situation, because there is an important aspect also, which is the purity. For, blending into CNG grid line, CGD would be finger crossed, because they have to ensure the, otherwise they have a fear that if they directly use it to their vehicle, or dispensing it to the retail and using in the transport, if anything goes down, so the market will be ruined. So they are cautious at that level as well. So there are a few things which can be fixed upon, and there are, a lot of new companies are also coming, supporting entrepreneurs to ensure these aspects. So I believe in coming 3 year, 4 year, you'll see tremendous, hype in this business, and people who are coming now, which is the right time to enter into the business, they would definitely achieve good, ROIs in that. Yeah.
Correct. I think you very beautifully explained the entire thing, sir, and I completely resonate with everything that you said. My next question is to Manoj, sir, and meanwhile, I will request everyone to please post your questions in the Q&A box so that we can directly ask the questions from the speakers during the Q&A. My question to Manoj sir is, recently we have seen that OMCs have started to push the use of GC, the gas chromatograph, so that the authenticity of the gas which is being bought by them can be verified. So can you explain what is the role of GC and what is GC to the general public and how it is going to help the industry at large?
Actually, I would like to say clearly, I don't know much about that GCN you have told. So I think if you can explain it, so that will be much
Shubham sir,
better.
would you like to take this one?
Sir, actually, this gas chromatograph, when it just shows the purity, like confirms. If we want to check the purity of the gas at any point, we have different kind of analyzers or different methodologies. We can even use those, but it is considered that gas chromatograph is more accurate with respect to the online analyzers. I guess Mr. Jitendra sir can also give his comments on my statement, because I think as per up till now what I have checked in the market, people have a trust on gas chromatograph. So if I'm having an analyzer, online analyzer in my plant, and if I'm not sure that my analyzer is showing the correct reading or not, then I will once check it with the gas chromatograph via third party agency or some other vendor.
Yeah, you are right, Shubham. I mean, there are, perception to it because again, I'll talk about the cost economics in this thing. I mean, people who want to buy gas analyzer, they look forward for buying something which is coming lesser than 10 lakh rupees or so. So, I mean, any kind of analyzer which is available in the market, the accuracy is the only prime factor which has to be there in the plant. So either if we are able to make it through online analyzers, that's fine. But otherwise, for third-party inspection or for an audit, you can use this chromatographer. So there is no issue at all. The only thing is the kind of sizable plant you have, because everything goes on, capex. So if you are, having a good capex and your plant size is enough to accommodate the kind of costings, so these analyzers and other things can be choose from the available analyzers, because at the end of the day, we have to analyze it. So there are many, analyzers are coming in the market now. A lot of new companies has entered. I'm sure that Shubham might have gone through all those companies as well. So there are multiple companies which are coming. So these technical aspects can be well taken care by PMC and EPC companies. And now CNG market has grown up. So every day you find new innovations as well. So now time has come, because now CBG business has become organized business. A lot of standard has already been put in the place. So you will see every 3 months or every 2 months, you will have a lot of new things to come. So check your cost economics and use the equipments accordingly. So I think the efficiency
Correct,
or everything can be taken care of. Yeah.
Correct, sir. And I think again we very nicely summed it up. And I think that when government takes measures like these, it's good for the entire industry, because there was a time when oil companies were buying the CBG. However, that CBG was not being properly purified or upgraded. And we saw that because of the hydrogen sulfide content, although it was in minuscule, but still it was, it destroyed certain engines of the cars. So, that kind of took a negative toll on the industry. So I believe that when government urges the industry to follow certain protocols, certain standards, it is beneficial for everyone. I completely understand that equipments like GC in themselves, if we talk about big brands, GC in itself costs 50 to 60 lakh rupees. I mean, it is a humongous cost in itself. But yes, so that the integrity of the industry can be maintained, maybe government is introducing certain things like these. Okay. Sir, Manoj sir, my question is for you. Let's say there's an entrepreneur who wants to get into the CBG sector.
Yes.
What are the parameters they should evaluate before they make their decision that whether they want to enter into the sector or not? I'm strictly
Okay.
talking in terms of selling the CBG, not the other part of the business.
Okay. Nice question. Actually, the person or the entrepreneur who want to enter into this sector, first of all, because the major challenges first of all comes of the raw material. Important thing, he is to find out that what type of raw material is available easily, because it is not a short-term business, it is a long-term business. So we have to find out what are the sources which are available surrounding, like the biogas, cow dung availability is there or not. Secondly, the municipal waste, biodegradable municipal waste is available or not. Press mud means is there any sugar mill nearby from where he can get it. So, and napier grass, he can promote also the farmers to grow the napier grass, which is very useful. And if they grow it, once they grow it, and I think if 5 to 6 years, as per my best of my knowledge, that it can grow, cut and grow, and they can utilize. And he is to adopt the technologies which can use the mix of all these type of waste, first of all. So mainly he has to find out that whether that raw material is available for a longer duration or not. And because what happens basically, if we install the CBG plant at once, later on the people from he was procuring this waste material, or biodegradable material, and later on he start to blackmail or like that one, that he doesn't provide. Because I have seen in some of the biomass gasifier plant in my own district that later farmers start to keep it with them, and they don't want to sell, or they want to sell it at their own cost. So they have to make it ensure there. And not only depend on the goshalas and like that one of the major source of the cow dung, he has to also get it or some collection point like at village level nearby in clusters. So other people will also get benefit from it. He has to get collection center for the cow dung, procure it, and transport it to the location there.
Sir, can we come to the selling of dispensing specifically? Let's assume that the feedstock part is sorted, technology part is sorted. Now, what an entrepreneur has to consider strictly from perspective of selling the gas to make a decision that whether they should enter or not. Feedstock is sorted, technology is sorted. I'm just talking about selling of gas now.
Yes, though selling of the gas, the main consumer are the, as I told earlier, that is of the in the city for the transport sector and industries nearby. So he has to find out and make a survey that how many transport CNG vehicles are there in their own city, how many can be converted. Because sometimes what happens, I've seen practically, the people doesn't bring convert their car or their vehicle into the CNG like that one. But because there was no CNG availability, if we find out that CNG is available there, people will start to convert their cars or their own vehicles. Just like secondly, autos. Presently in city, any a number of autos are there, which can be converted into the CNG base like that one. And they have, the entrepreneur have to also motivate the people to go for CNG and tell them the benefit in terms of their like the regular recurring expenses on the normal fossil fuels, all this. So he has to find out or entrepreneurs have to find out what is the consumer, what are the consumers who are available in their own area. And major consumers are in the transport sector basically, and industrial sector as a small entrepreneur. And for a large entrepreneur, there can be companies like Indian Oil. He can tie up with them to sell directly to them if he don't want to go to the individual consumers like that one. So major consumer may be the oil agencies like that one, as he can provide it to at the fixed rate of the government, and he can provide it to them also.
Got it, sir. I think you very nicely mentioned, and I would take this opportunity to welcome ML Dhiman sir, who is the CEO of Gascon Engineers. He gave us a surprise. He was in the audience. So I requested if he would like to join the panel for a discussion. Let's see if he accepts my invitation. Dhiman sir, if possible, do accept my invitation. It will be an honor to have you in this discussion. Yes, sir. So, Shubham sir, when we talk about the gas dispensing aspect, in your experience, the number of projects that you have executed personally, where do you see gas companies finding the most acceptance towards CBG? Is it towards gas grade? It is towards dispensing through cascades, or maybe the industries who are using the fuel at bulk?
Sir, talking truth at this point for this question, selling of gas, rather from like a cascade or pipeline, or let's say getting your own dispenser. That is a part. But right now, oil and gas companies are facing challenges because a person who is having a CBG plant, he can deliver a gas, or let's say on a particular 2 months, 3 months, or let's say 6 months basis regularly. But after a period of time, he is not able to get the feed, and again the supply of gas reduces. So oil and gas companies are not sure that the people who are producing CBG, are they that much confident to deliver it on consistent basis or not? So that is the major challenge, because even they are trying to check whether the supplier is able to supply the gas on regular basis or not. Because if he is able to supply the gas, then oil and gas marketing company will give them good rates. They will take it from regular basis. But if they are irregular on supplying the gas, then there is a problem.
Correct. Dhiman sir, I would like to give the stage to you. Please share your experience on what is going on when we talk about gas dispensing specifically. And thank you for giving us the surprise.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And good evening to everyone, all the panelists. And in fact, I have heard about 2-3 topics only, and I can share some of my experience there on that. Number one, we were talking about the gas chromatograph, why the urgency has come, that it has become a necessity in the market, and oil companies are emphasizing its compulsion that it should be there. The biggest problem with the oxygen analyzer, oxygen or the gas analyzers, whether this is the methane, CO2, H2S, oxygen, whatever is there, or the dryness, the biggest issue is multiple terminal points of the analysis and its relevance with the dry portion and the wet portion. In gas chromatograph, you are getting the right analysis just because it is not, it is giving you the exact component only. In analysis, the moisture goes as balance. It is measured as the nitrogen or other gases. So that proportion is not met out there. That's why gas chromatography is the necessity. Number two was we were discussing about Napier grass. Napier is being promoted like anything nowadays. Of course, the fodder shortage also is there, but it's a good material to process.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for taking that. We'll quickly move to the audience questions. And I would take the first question. I have a couple of questions that were given to me before the webinar, and we'll have some in the Q&A box. So I'll juggle between the both. Let's take a question from Mr. Devanshu, who has posted it in the Q&A box. He has asked that if I go for dispensing side, then what is the minimum quantity of sales of gas should be done per day or per month to get ROI? Jitendra sir, would you like to take this? You're on mute, sir.
Can you throw it again, please?
Yeah. So Devanshu has asked that if I go for dispensing side, then what is the minimum quantity of gas that they should be selling per day or per month to get ROI? He is asking in kgs.
Yeah, so generally in the market, or probably the OMCs has designed a thumb rule of 2 ton kind of a gas production as an average figure for a day if you consider whole year. So 2 and 2.5 ton kind of a size of a plant can bring in break even within the period which generally the new entrepreneur expects. So this can be a threshold for 2000 kg or 2400 kg can be a ideal figure to start with. But the kind of actual viability, if somebody wants to have it, then 5-ton kind of a gas can be a thumb rule for having a break even within 3 or 4 years, so that the project viability will comes. Initially, maybe for another 6 months after the evacuation of the gas from the plant, could be a standard figures. I mean, 6 months can be, you can take it as a moratorium, or probably till the time everything will be settled down. Because initially once you evacuate, so maybe your plant will be running on 80%, 85% or 70%. So by that time, I mean, within 6 months, majority of the things will be settled down and then you can have it. So these two numbers can be start as a threshold, so that below than that, economics could goes up to 5 years as well. 5 years, 6 years break even can be achieved if you are going with 1 ton or 1.5 ton. Because the initial capex is always high in plants which is having a lot of capex. In biofuels, capex is one thing, so we have to consider that part.
Understood. I hope the person who asked the question got it. The next question is that what is the minimum purity of gas that needs to be there to be sold to an OMC? Dhiman sir, would you like to take this one?
Yeah, in fact, it is established nowadays is 97%. With the simple reason, just because in due course of time it is going to be built on MMBTU basis. So 97 plus is always a better choice. That's why higher efficiency, the upgradation systems are being followed nowadays, wherein your purity is better than 97%, and the losses also are, in some of the cases, some people agree for 3%, but most of the cases people have started asking for less than 1% weightage. So that is the scenario. 97 is the minimum.
97 is the minimum percentage. Fair. Shubham sir, I think you might want to take this. While deciding on the how to dispense that gas, what is the most important parameter one should consider before finalizing how to sell that gas?
See, if it is the parameter to sell the gas, like in dispensing point, then the first thing he should check is that he should analyze the nearby market, that what is the amount of existing dispensing stations available in that zone, and how much amount of gas they are being able to sold on per day basis. So based on that, one can do an analysis, and then he can go for the decision to the capacity of that particular dispensing station. Accordingly, they can there is no such kind of thumb rule or the such kind of if you go to a Mumbai city, and if you just randomly set up a BioCNG dispensing unit, there is no question that there will be no sales, because there is a huge demand. But if I go to a remote place where there is very low amount of automobiles or low amount of consumer for the gas, then it will be very difficult for me to sell. So that is the reason one should analyze the zone where he is planning to start the dispensing station, and then step forward for accordingly.
Understood. Very valid point, sir. Manoj sir, you emphasized a lot on gas dispensing through cascades. So someone has asked how to decide the combination of compressor and cascade. I think they want to ask that what should be the capacity of the compressor, and all. I think maybe that is the question, if I have understood it correctly. You're on mute, sir. Manoj sir.
A minute. Okay. So yes, can you repeat it, please?
Yeah, I think Shivam has asked that how to decide the size of the compressor and filling mechanism of the cascades. I think he's asking that how to decide whether they should go for 500 meter cube per hour, 700 meter cube per hour, what should be the operational hours of that particular compressor. So I think that is the question, if I have understood it correctly.
Actually, I think Somji or Jitendra will give the right answer for it, as he has done the work and practically.
Jitendra ji, would you like to take this one?
Yeah, I mean, if you talk about the sizing by which you want to, pass on the gas, it has to be depend on the size of the plant. So the compressor and other things are available in cubic meter per hour basis. So first of all, we should know that this is the size of the plant and this would be the flow rates. So accordingly, sizing can be done. And the another question which you were talking about, the combination of dispensing through cascades and through blending. So the answer would be, the kind of opportunity which is available, so that accordingly we can work out on those aspects. As I said, the economic viability is major thing in the biogas or the biofuel business. So if you are available having, blending opportunity, then priority has to be go with the blending opportunity, so that your majority of the focus should go on efficiency of the plant, and you would be less involved in the supply chain of the cascades, because supply chain is also takes time and also the energy. So these two things you have to see that what comes first. So that has to be a parameter to understand the more viability in the plant.
I think the best answer to that question would be that you officially hire, the consultants for this, maybe Jitendra sir, Diesel, or anyone who will do that headache for you, and they will
Yeah,
be,
so that's
in a better
the
position to suggest you. A lot of people, they refrain from, working with consultants. I don't know why is that, but we have seen that. But anyway, coming to the last question, and I think Dhiman sir, you should take this one. What if the oil company refuses to buy my CBG despite the agreement? What to do in that case?
It generally happens in the cases when we are injecting the gas into the low pressure grade, medium pressure MDP pipeline generally, which is approximately 4 to 6 kg. That is the pressure of the pipeline where it is being injected directly. What happens? Suppose my CGD is at a particular place. Suppose it is at Panipat. Suppose it is at Ambala, Karnal, any of the place in UP, Ghaziabad, Hapur, and any of the place we can consider. Suppose their consumption is 2 TPD only. The city's consumption is 2 TPD, then how can they take my 4 TPD production every day? That's the problem. Number one. Number two, higher amount can be injected in their steel pipeline, that is 20 bar pipeline. That they are not refusing because it is directly connected to the main grid of the gas. So there it's not the issue. Thirdly, they have the option to have their own dispensing station and sell it there in the market, or to supply it to the various networks available in the particular area they have installed the plant. So these are the three options. The first one is being taken up like they are not taking the gas.
Understood. So I think maybe if we are following the protocols correctly, and if you're meeting the guidelines, BIS 16087 standards, there's a high chance that such problems may not arise. Having said that, like one of the panelists mentioned, that never depend on just one outlet of selling the gas. You should have multiple options on how you can dispense that gas so as to reduce your own risk of being too dependent on one buyer. So that is always recommended. With this, we officially come to the end of Candid Biofuel Talks CBG series, specialization on selling biogas. Thank you so much for joining the session.
Actually, just a minute. Actually, just one I'd like to
Yes,
ask.
sir. We'll give you the concluding remarks. Don't worry. Okay. So I officially thank all the speakers for joining this session. I request all the panelists to please leave your LinkedIn profiles in the chat box so that people who might want to connect with you, they can connect with you through LinkedIn professionally. You can even leave your email IDs if you feel it's fit. With this, I would request all the panelists to give their concluding remarks about how their experience was, what can be better, and what more topics can be included. Manoj sir, let's start with you.
Yes. Actually, I would like to ask one more thing for my curiosity. I have come to know about the bio-LNG, means liquid petroleum, liquid natural gas. And that is going on nowadays launched by some of the companies I come to know. And due to the transportation problem, because in case of if you are sending or means carrying this by CNG form, then it takes a lot of problem also sometimes. But in case of bio-LNG, that means we can carry the more volume of the gas in small containers or like that. Just we bring the LPG. So I would like to know about something about that one. That how much it is feasible there as compared to the CNG, bio CNG, like that.
Okay, I think maybe we can discuss it once we have concluded it. Maybe Jitendra sir, Shubham sir, Dhiman sir can answer that once they have officially concluded it. So we'll get back
Okay,
to this, and
sure.
in fact, we will definitely try to organize a session on that. We'll try to get expert panels who are experienced in the LNG space as well. Coming to Shubham sir, any concluding remarks?
Sir, I will conclude with the topic of the sales of CBG in the form that anyone who is interested and who is having funds, who is very much interested by getting loan to set up a CBG plant in the nearby area and contribute to the growth of India, he should study at his own level first, doing all the market research as well as the feasibility of feedstock, not only with the feedstock but also the technology which he is procuring, and at the end ensuring that he has multiple, as Mr. Daiman sir have already explained, that having the choice, if one oil and gas company does not take off the gas, then what other options are available with them. Same for the feedstock also. If he's depending on only one particular feedstock, then it will be very much hard for him to get the returns which he has invested in the project. So ensuring all these parameters, one should choose a right decision with all the parameters in lining with the sales of CVG.
Correct. Thank you so much, sir, for this. I hope you had a wonderful time. Over to Jitendra, sir. Any concluding remarks, sir?
Yeah, according to me, for new entrepreneurs, I think majority of the speakers has already talked about. The prime and force is to have a business acumen. Any business field which comes out with a innovation and technology, so you should have the knowledge first. So the platforms like Candid Biofuel or any other knowledge sessions. So anybody who's coming, they should take first knowledge, so that knowledge can bring you at certain level where you would be understand that this business will make economics. So if you are finding that this business is making economics, then you jump into the another steps. Well, generally what happens is people who wanted to start a business, they are in a hurry, they would see a plant and they wanted to start. But before that, I think there is a question marks to the few, topics like, I mean, the raw material, supply chain, blending and other. So people should, come to those platforms like Candid Biofuel is organizing. It's a wonderful thing to, understand the major crux of the business so that they will come on. And then the rest, they have to choose a good PMC company or a consultant, anybody, those who they can trust them, so that majority of the hassles can be wiped off before entering into the business. And if they
Correct.
feel that business is making economic, then government is providing add-on supports. So as far as biofuel is concerned, there are a lot of opportunities. People will come, and this is the right time. Every business has a life cycle of around 11 years, and we are in the second, third year, just started. So we can make good ROIs out of it and the payback, so that people have seen in the solar, people have seen in the wind energy, and now biofuel has come up, bio-CBG is working on, ethanol has already been proven, and now hydrogen and other LPGs and the other energies are coming up. So it's the right time to enter. And I mean, the knowledge is the primemost thing which I understand in this business, because equipment can be taken from anywhere, but the integration and the process technology is very much important, and the commercial viability. So these are
Correct.
the 3 points has to be given in consideration before starting this business.
Correct. And Jitendra sir very rightly summed it up. that before you try to jump into the waters, you need to do the feasibility studies in association with the consultant or the PMC, so that you have the right data to support that whether you are entering for an opportunity or towards hell. So I think
Yeah.
that is something which Jitendra sir very rightly mentioned. Dhiman sir, over to you, sir. Any concluding remarks? And first of all, thank you for joining Midway.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. My agreement on certain figures is like it should be 5 TPD and 5 years IRR should be taken into consideration at this stage, just because the organic manure marketing setup is still going on. It is not yet utilized fully by each and every plant owner. Once it is established, and the starts there, then we can count it down to around 3 to 4 years. Just because it's going to be a huge difference as far as earnings from the plant is concerned. Number two, we were talking about the selling options. Each and every selling option has been given, so we have to study it well in advance, particularly the technology. Mr. Narayan said it very correctly, Mr. Jitendra Narayan said it very correctly, that all the three things should be studied in advance. In addition to that, we should be taking the technology, the feed, and the product selling, all put together into consideration before we take a call. We should go for it and we should not go for it. For example, let us say the simple thing, the finance. Suppose I have decided to inject in a MDP pipeline initially. Tomorrow, I need to take a call that I have to go for a compression and the cascading and sell it into the directly into the market. I'll be getting more profits, of course, but at the same time, that maybe 3 crores to 8-10 crores, whatever the capacity of the plant is there, that much of the investment is required. If that investment had got to be planned in advance, that also should be done in advance. So those kind of the things should be taken, that kind of the consultancy should be carried out in advance before we take a call.
Correct, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And I think you very rightly mentioned about it. The right data points need to be in front of us so that we can make the right decisions. With this, we officially conclude Candid Biofuel Talks, another episode of it. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And if you are still not a part of our WhatsApp community, I've shared the link on the chat box. The speakers have shared their email IDs and their LinkedIn profiles. So if you want to connect with them, you can connect with them directly. With this, I once again thank all the esteemed panelists for sparing out their times on a weekday and enlightening all the participants with their esteemed knowledge. Thank you, everyone, and good night. And happy Dussehra. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Happy Dussehra.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Yeah.